Is that it? No. Oh, there it is. Fallout New Vegas is my favorite game ever, point blank. I've been playing this game since 2018. In fact, it is the first game I've ever played on the first computer I have ever had. The game filled me with wonder and curiosity everywhere I went. While learning about the main story was fun, I was always curious about the unmarked locations, the little environmental storytelling that Fallout excels at. Some of these throwaway dialogues and oddly placed decorations have inspired several myths within the Fallout community. Are there ghosts in the Mojave? What about aliens? And what is past these fences that block out the player? Well, to answer these questions, we gotta boot up the game and find out for ourselves. In this video, we will explore several myths and legends spread by the players of Fallout New Vegas. Without further ado, let's see if these legends are true. Goodsprings Cemetery is a graveyard located in the starting town of the game, Goodsprings. This is where the player is buried and eventually dug out. A fun fact is that this place is a real place in Nevada. You can even see the Goodsprings Saloon in Google Maps. First thing we're gonna look at is the Goodsprings Cemetery. So basically it's just a cemetery with a bunch of graves, and apparently if you stay long enough, some whispers will appear and maybe we'll see some ghosts. Who knows? Apparently there's a glitch in the game when NPCs are killed, they appear in the cemetery instead of in Goodsprings, which we could test that out. So as we all know, Goodsprings Cemetery is where he got dug out of, actually. John, where's Victor? It's where Victor dug us out of, right there. Hello? Yeah, you can actually see it here. Apparently there will be whispers, there might be some bottles and pieces of trash being thrown at the player, and it says right there, the player can use a shovel to dig up and loot graves, which can lead to strange events happening. Interesting. See, we could see some graves, but as we can see, we need a shovel to dig up here. So I guess we could just cheat it in. Hang on, how do we do this? Okay. Now we got a shovel, then guess what? We can dig it up. Okay, Silence 22 pistol. Pretty weird that it's actually like buried in the grave. Single shotgun. Yeah, this is weird. Why are there guns buried? Maybe I could search it up. Maybe it's like a American tradition or something like that. As far as I can tell, I don't really know. What else? Yeah, bullets. Also, I should probably, just mute the music. So it's just ambient music. Or ambient sounds. Let's hear it. You can actually hear stuff. Wait, this is the graveyard I didn't rob. Is this why it's, sectioned off? Because if you rob it, something scary might happen? Let's see. Just some bullets. Nothing? Okay. Let's make it night. Maybe something different will happen. I don't know. I mean, yeah, just some voices, I guess. I mean, this isn't like a glitch or anything. It's just part of the game. Hearing voices. Try to make it eerie, try to make it scary. I don't see any ghosts or anything, Oh wait, last thing is that apparently if you kill some of the NPCs, their bodies will spawn in the graveyard, which that has never happened to me. Maybe I could pull it up, after editing this video, but I don't know, I doubt it. Quick save. I mean, the body's still here. I mean, what about it? Let's go back. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be there. Nothing. Oh, hi Victor. He kind of scared me, I'll be honest. Victor is kind of scary. Yeah, maybe there's like a creepy thing about him. Yeah, no bodies. Might have been an old glitch. Might be like a console thing. Nothing. I don't see anything. Also, no items are thrown at me. Yeah, next one, I guess. Let's go to the next one. And the next one is actually gonna be not far from here, and it's called the Lone Wolf Radio. Lone Wolf Radio is a radio shack that can be found south of Goodsprings. According to the Fallout Myth Wiki, which is where I get most of my information from, there was once a character called a Lone Wolf who is an NPC that operates a radio station. The radio station is mostly filled with incoherent babbles until it reaches 11 p.m. when it would suddenly stop. Around 3 a.m., the radio station would start again, but now with a child. The Lone Wolf would say, "Everyone is gone. I am all alone. Let it all end," before murdering the child live on radio. This would then initiate a quest where you can track down the Lone Wolf and either join him or kill him. If you do join him, it will give you a perk where it gives you the ability to kill children. Wow. The developers were really messed up for adding this to the game, if it were true. I should have prefaced this earlier, but the Lone Wolf story is just a creepypasta, and even one of the creative directors officially stated that it is a hoax. Now, if you want to know something really messed up with Fallout New Vegas, just search up the age of the voice actor that voiced this line.
Hungry? Thirsty?
Come to the Silver
Horny?
Rush for all
The
your
Atomic
energy
Wrangler
weapon
has you
needs.
covered.
Alright. We made it to Lone Wolf Radio. Lone Wolf Radio, just a little place next to Goodsprings, Source, Goodsprings. I remember using this for a base when I was literally in my first playthrough. I remember using this as a base because, you know, there's a sleeping place, yep. There's places to, you know, store stuff. But as we can see, this must have been like a radio station. Oh yeah, you can also see probably the most important part is the graffitis on the wall. It says "Everyone is gone" in yellow. We actually see some paint. What is this? Paint splotches. Oh, is that actually a mushroom cloud? It kind of looks like it. Is there nothing else here? I mean, there's an empty locker. Just some bunch of junk in the metal box. Yeah, there's nothing in the actual radio station or the actual, you know, bunker that's related to the creepypasta, because it obviously was built after the game was built. But in the actual game, besides, you know, just some scribbles in the wall, nothing really. It's just a radio station. You can't even use the radio or anything, you know. It's just a nice little place to live if you know, choose to do so. Okay. UFOs, government cover-up, secret weapons. They all seem perfect for the Fallout universe, but in New Vegas, there's no Area 51 anywhere in the game. Since New Vegas takes place in Nevada and the real Area 51 is in Nevada, you would think it would be in the game. But no, it doesn't exist. The most similar location is the Nellis Air Force Base seen before, which does not contain any aliens, unfortunately. Alright, so the next one is gonna be Area 51, which is not actually in the game at all. The closest thing is the Boomers Nellis Air Force Base, which is basically an Air Force base for this faction called the Boomers. But besides that, there's really no Area 51, especially because the actual Fallout New Vegas map takes place really far south of Area 51, which is kind of up north of Las Vegas in real life. So there's no like real Fallout equivalent in the game, although there is, I'm pretty sure, Area 51 in Fallout 2, but in Fallout New Vegas, no such thing as Area 51. Despite Area 51 not being real, aliens are real in the Fallout universe. They appear in Fallout 3, New Vegas, and 4. They also technically appear in Fallout 1 and 2, but they can't be interacted with. In Fallout 3, there's a dedicated DLC focused around aliens, Mothership Zeta. However, in Fallout New Vegas, they appear when you pick the Wild Wasteland perk, a perk that adds Easter eggs and less serious stuff in the wasteland, like for example, aliens. But speaking of Area 51, there are aliens in Fallout. They're real, I know, which is crazy. But apparently, when using the Wild Wasteland trait, you could actually see some of them north of Horowitz Farmstead. So let's, I guess, go to Horowitz Farmstead. Okay, so we're near Horowitz Farmstead, and apparently it is north of Horowitz Farmstead. Apparently it's here. Oh, is that it? No. Oh, there it is. Apparently they're actually pretty strong. The aliens, they're real. The aliens are real. Apparently there's some down here. Where are they? I don't see any of them. Oh! There they are. And they're automatically aggressive. Look at them. They're kind of cute. I kind of feel bad for killing them, but there's a special item, which we'll see. Oh, one more. Boom. And there they go. The aliens. Oh, they're holding like laser beams. Oh, microfusion cells. Cool. Oh, it's actually floating. Wait, is it gonna fly away? No? I guess not. Okay. Yeah. This is the captain, and the reason why I'm focusing on the captain is because he's actually holding an alien blaster. Yeah, with alien power cell, which is the only source of the ammo in this game. Since the weapon is really strong, they limited it by just having, you know, limited ammo. And if you use all of it, no more left in the game, and you can't shoot the gun. It's basically like a toy now. Alien blaster. Oh, look at that. It's like the ray gun from not Fallout. What is it? Call of Duty Zombies. Ooh, cool. Yeah. There's actually some raiders here, so we could test it out on them. Hey guys. Sneak. Dude. One hit kill? Sad. This is actually really strong. Hang on, where are they? What? Where are they at? Where they at though? Laser. Let's go. Oh my god. One shot kill. Oh, I'm missing. Hang on, I'm missing. This is actually really strong. This is overpowered, honestly. No. Let me do no clip and see if I could see anything in here. Oh, so that's the mothership? Kind of a cool rendition. It's more like a spaceship rather than like a UFO. Oh wait, hang on. It's actually broken at the front. I guess that's how they got out. Can I land on here? Oh. Ah, okay. You can't like go inside. But yeah, pretty cool. Area 51, not real. The aliens are real. Which is kind of like the inverse of real life. Whatever. Yeah. Okay, next one. What is it? What's the next one? Like Goodsprings, Lake Mead is a real-life location located in Nevada. According to AZ Central, there's a folklore associated with Lake Mead. In 1948, a plane crashed into the lake, which spread pollution to the lake. The folklore states that a man released alligators into the lake and the pollution in the lake caused the alligators to mutate into monsters. While it is true that a plane did crash into the lake, the mutated monsters are obviously a hoax. Focusing back to Fallout New Vegas, like real life, there is a B-52 bomber in the lake. This is used in the quest Volaire, in a quest for a faction called the Boomers. After completing the quest, Mr. New Vegas will say this on the radio.
Witnesses report a huge object or creature surfacing in Lake Mead. So far, photos of the so-called Lake Mead monster are grainy and underexposed.
While this is just a throwaway line, this didn't stop some players from searching Lake Mead for monsters. Okay, so Lake Mead is a prominent lake in Fallout New Vegas. Pretty big lake. Probably the biggest lake in the game, honestly. But apparently, the myth is that there is a monster inside. Specifically, like Loch Ness Monster at Lake Mead. Which, I doubt it. But, you know, whatever. Let's check it out. As you can see, there's Hoover Dam, which is kind of like the important, you know, military place. There are monsters. But these are just, you know, lake lurks, just normal monsters. But that's not what they were talking about. Apparently there's like the Loch Ness Monster, pretty big. Plesiosaur. Isn't that what it's called? You know, the water monsters, the water dinosaurs. But yeah, it is pretty weird that there's this like little area clearly man-made. But for some reason, there's no one here. Interesting. Were they killed by the lake lurks or were they killed by the Loch Ness Monster? Who knows? But yeah, anyways, as you can see, there's actually nothing underneath here. There is a quest. Yeah, here. And this is probably what the people are talking about when they say Loch Ness Monster. And it's this crashed B-29. Besides this, nothing, honestly. Yeah, you can see there's nothing here. There's even a submarine. It's probably from pre-war era. But nothing. Absolutely nothing. No sightings, nothing. Just a huge lake, you know, pretty advantageous lake. Oh, this is the wall here. Beyond this, I don't think there's anything. Yeah, it's just empty. Oh, there's radiation. This actually reminds me, like, no clipping out of bounds. Actually reminds me of another urban legend but that's probably going to be at the end. This is all clean water, which is really rare in Fallout New Vegas. That's the only interesting thing. And the B-29 bomber. Anyways, next urban legend would be Novak Chupacabra. Novak is a town that everyone passes by when playing New Vegas. In the town, you can find a possible companion. Boone is an ex-NCR soldier that guards the town at night. Talking to him will engage a quest where you try to find his wife. Boone thinks she was kidnapped or even killed, but other residents think she just left on her own volition. This is a great quest, but there is another quest that some may have missed as it is an unmarked quest. In the town, you encounter a local conspiracy theorist called Nobark. He makes some wild claims like ghouls trying to go to the moon or communists trying to go to the moon.
Ghosts. Commie ghosts who don't know they're dead.
What a silly guy, right? He also makes a claim that he saw a group take Boone's wife away.
Seen it all. Seen shadowy folk come to his room and leave again in the middle of the night.
Huh. You might have to take his claims more seriously from now on. Who kidnapped Boone's wife?
Mole rat men.
One of his claims leads you to investigate possible claims of a chupacabra. According to Nobark, invisible chupacabras were seen killing the local Brahmins owned by the McCribes. As you can see, the iconic Novak dinosaur. In Novak, apparently one of the NPCs talk about chupacabras, which is right here, Norbrak Noonan. Right, what's been going on in the town?
There's been things of a disturbing nature going on at the McBride Corral. Work of the chupacabra, the livestock vampire, says Nobark. But they don't pay no mind. Too many holes, they say, and there's bullets in them. Well, says Nobark, we got a chupacabra with an automatic weapon. And that's when they get real quiet, because now they see the predicament we're in.
Interesting. So as we heard from Nobark, there has been some chucapacha, specifically at the, what is this? Corral? McBride Corral. As you can see, a victim of chupacabra. Who could have done this? Now, obviously Nobark is kind of a nutcase. You know, he's kind of a crazy guy. He's the local crazy man. But, you know, let's just take his word for it because we're searching for any strange things that's happening in New Vegas. Anyways, let's actually talk to the McBride family. See if they know anything about this. Tell me what you know.
Every night around midnight, Alice and I wake up to some crazy hollering and gunshots. You'd think the world was ending all over again.
Interesting. I'll see what I can do. So around midnight, there's a chupacabra or something like that that's killing his livestock. So I guess let's check it out. Apparently it's at midnight, so let's just pass the time. Wonder if we could actually catch the chupacabras.
Hello there.
Welcome. This is another, you know, scary guy, another urban legend. Maybe he has some ulterior motives. Hang on. Malcolm, don't go that way. I see something. You see that? That's probably him. Oh. No. What are you doing? Can I talk to him? Can I not talk to you? Okay. Oh, screams of Brahmin. So we couldn't talk to him, which is unfortunate. But he did drop a holotape. Most of what is recorded here is a mess of incomprehensible psychotic gibberish. It seems to express a general frustration towards a set of Brahmin who are allegedly keeping the author awake at night by screaming inside his head whenever he closes his eyes. Turns out it wasn't a chupacabra, it was just a nightkin, which is a type of super mutant who uses stealth voice and thus kind of goes insane. Like Nobark said, apparently he wasn't crazy. Something was up. And it was not a chupacabra, but a nightkin. Interesting. Well, let's just tell them about it. Well.
Find anything?
I guess we can tell them about the nightkin. But, you know, that was cool. Yeah, just a little side quest. It's not even marked. Besides the actual, you know, the nightkin incident, apparently some people say they actually met the chupacabra outside of, you know, Novak. But most of it is, you know, as they say in the Wikipedia, probably like dogs, you know, just like dogs, or like mongrels, which is a type of dog. But yeah, that was the chupacabra. Then the last one, which isn't really urban legend, it is near the Mojave Outpost, the final urban legend. The Mojave Outpost is a location controlled by the NCR. It houses multiple NPCs and quests, but I'm going to focus on the gate that separates the NCR territory from the desert. For years, people have been curious about what is beyond the gate. Before the addition of the Lonesome Roads DLC, this gate was completely locked. This led some to believe that there was a key somewhere in the Mojave that unlocks the door for more content. However, no such keys existed. It took until the DLC was released that we knew what was really behind the fence, which was basically an area with enemies and loot from the DLC. A YouTube horror creator that utilizes this curiosity behind the gate is Dr. Bosch. The Unfiction series starts with him glitching his way out of the gate. He eventually goes deeper into the desert until reaching a place with signs of encampment. It's strange that developers would bother to add things this far considering no one is able to reach there. He goes deeper and deeper into the desert until eventually losing the ability to go back into the Mojave. It only means one thing, and it is to go further and explore the horrors of the Mojave Desert. It is this right here, the gate past the Mojave Outpost. You can't really unlock this if you didn't complete the DLC yet. So obviously this has been locked before the DLC was released, so there was a lot of fan theories about what could be past this. There might be a new area, a whole designed area past this, which is not the case. But like we can just go back, and yeah, it's just empty, just no clip. It's empty. This was further exacerbated by an actual Unfiction ARG digital horror, whatever you want to call it, series by Dr. Bosch, which basically is a series of videos that details a player's experience with basically finding the way to glitch out of here and just, you know, finding out that past this, which should be empty, is actually not empty, and there's some scary stuff going on. That series is really good. Definitely gonna link it below if you want to watch it. But obviously that's like a modded version of Fallout New Vegas. It's not actually, nothing's actually here. Yeah, we actually explore a little bit, but it's probably not gonna be 90% empty. Obviously, why would they attempt to model this area since no one's gonna see this? I mean, this is like actually more detailed than I thought it would be. Man, no wonder why Dr. Bosch created that ARG Unfiction, whatever you want to call it, because man, it's not, there's nothing obviously. It feels like there should be something here. I wouldn't be surprised if something pops up, like a building or two. Yeah, but this isn't, you know, fiction, it's real life. And they only had like 13 months to create the game. So obviously there's not going to be anything here. But yeah, I guess this is the reality of urban legends. It's that 90% of it is nothing. But you know, this is fun. It's just, you know, people having fun. You know, it's great to see. It's great to have more excuses to talk about Fallout New Vegas. But, you know, I'm not too upset about it. But yeah, all these stuff is basically just, you know, people having fun. It's not actually real. I guess this is the edge of the map. I reached the far lands. Interesting. But we reached the edge. Nothing's here. Yeah. Well, ooh. Wait, what? You can actually swim here? I did not know that. Cool. But yeah, that's it. Well, that was most of the myths that I could find for Fallout New Vegas. Most of the myths were not real, and some were even debunked by the developers. I do think myths being spread by the players are fun, and it reminds me of urban legends spread in elementary school. I also found it interesting how most of the myths were based after real dialogue in the game. I think it makes some myths way more believable and interesting to explore. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. Feel free to leave a suggestion of what other games you want me to explore. Anyways, love your neighbors, tell your mother that you love her, and believe in yourself, because someday you might actually find the Loch Ness Monster. See y'all later.